All right, guys. So you remember how I told you that there will be people on the left who are going to be opportunists and take advantage of this mass shooting, this tragic mass shooting that happened in Buffalo, in which 10 people lost their lives at the hands of a self-avowed white supremacist. There are going to be people that took advantage of that in order to get retweets and likes. And that is what we're seeing on Twitter today. Okay. And I'm telling you, it is absolutely disgusting. Okay. It really is. These people really have no shame in their game and what they're trying to do to advance their own careers, right? They will literally use death, tragedy for retweets and likes. They will put things out there that they know make absolutely no sense whatsoever, that are not connected in any way whatsoever, simply because they know they will profit from it. Okay. And again, that is what is happening right now. And I want to talk about that as, again, I put this tweet out here in response to Rachel Vindman, who said, how long until the Buffalo shooter is partying at Mar-a-Lago? Okay. So this person said this as a way to basically imply that people on the right are celebrating this as if Trump would invite this guy to Mar-a-Lago. And I'm like, well, again, if you're paying attention, there's nobody on the right or conservatives or Fox News or anybody that is celebrating this as if this is a good thing, that this shooter is some type of hero or anything like that. That's simply just not happening at all. In fact, a vast majority, 99.999% of conservatives and people on the right are saying, no, this is a tragedy. This person is racist, right? They're racist white supremacists. This person is evil, right? And this is unacceptable. That's what they're saying, right? That's all I'm saying for the most part, right? But again, if you listen to blue check leftist Twitter, they would have you think that people on the right, that we are praising this guy, okay, for what he did, when that's just simply not true. Unlike the left, the right doesn't seem to praise their extremists all that much, okay? But the left, they will praise their extremists, right? They're totally fine with intimidating Supreme Court justices having a summer of love in which, you know, you can rage and destroy buildings and kill people and do all types of crazy stuff in the name of social justice, right? They're totally fine with that. They will not only ignore it, they will condone it. They will support it, right? Again, that is the biggest difference, in my opinion, between the right and the left. In situations like this, the right is totally fine with saying, you know what, this was wrong, right? They did that with January 6th. They're doing that with a situation like this, even though the shooter, I don't think he's necessarily even right wing, to be quite honest with you. He said he's left wing, okay? But regardless of that, conservatives are just like, hey, you know what, no, this is wrong, right? This is wrong. Okay, but again, the left can't do that. They don't have that same moral standard to call out wrong, even if it's politically inconvenient. They won't do that, right? They're ignored if it's politically inconvenient. Yeah, so they're saying all types of crazy stuff for retweets and likes. And the reason why this person said how long until the Buffalo shooter is partying at Mar-a-Lago, well, they're trying to compare the Buffalo shooter to Kyle Rittenhouse, right? They're trying to say that Kyle Rittenhouse was the precursor to the Buffalo shooter because, according to the false leftist narrative about what happened in Kenosha, they believe that Kyle Rittenhouse is a white supremacist murderer, right? So they see Kyle Rittenhouse and this guy, Peyton Gendron, the guy that committed the mass shooting in Buffalo, as the same. Okay, they're both racist white supremacists who went out there to murder black people, right? That is literally what they believe, even though anybody who actually knows the story of Kyle Rittenhouse, that wasn't paying attention to Joy Reid and the mainstream liberal media talk about it, that actually was looking at the facts, looked at the video, knows that Kyle Rittenhouse was acting in self-defense and he didn't kill or shoot any black people whatsoever. Okay, Kyle Rittenhouse acted in self-defense in which he shot 3 people and killed 2 of them. All 3 of them were white. Okay, but again, that doesn't fit the narrative. Okay, and they're trying to basically compare Peyton Gendron's situation, what happened in Buffalo, to what happened in Kenosha. And it's apples and oranges. It's not even apples and oranges. I mean, it's like fruits and vegetables, right? It's a fruits and vegetables comparison, right? They're just simply not the same. They're not even close. But again, this is what you call an ass pull, right? When you have nothing, okay, when you simply want to just talk the talk, when you want to say things for retweets and likes, you have to reach so far up your ass so that you can pull out some bullshit takes like this, okay? This is what you call an ass pull. Pulling out shitty takes that drive a false narrative for retweets and likes, okay? As this guy, a blue check leftist, Gregory McKelvey, says, Black people being gunned down is what happens when society lifts Rittenhouse up as a hero and treats Kaepernick as a villain. Again, what black person did Kyle Rittenhouse shoot? What does Kyle Rittenhouse has to do with black people outside of the fact that he was at a Black Lives Matter protest when this happened? Kyle Rittenhouse has nothing to do with black people whatsoever. But again, the leftist narrative is that Kyle Rittenhouse went to Kenosha to shoot and kill black people, and some people even believe that that's what he actually did. Again, this is how you know the mainstream liberal media has failed us, right? They failed us, okay? People are believing things that are simply not true. Naveed Jamali says, we're witnessing the Kyle Rittenhouse effect. Young, angry white men with guns, it's an epidemic. If only the federal government was allowed to study gun violence and the FBI aggressively tracked and prosecuted white supremacists. Well, I mean, look, here's the thing. I mean, the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, the whole Biden administration saying that white supremacy is the biggest threat in this country. So it seems to me that that's what they're focused on. That and the angry parents at school boards. If the FBI was actually doing their job, then they would have prevented this from happening. Okay? Which is something that a lot of people on the right, a lot of conservatives are asking questions about, right? Why is the FBI so gun-ho about going after angry parents who are protesting at school boards and not going after guys like this, who they allegedly knew had some issues, right? Because again, they talk about going after white supremacists and how they're the biggest threat in this country, but they didn't prevent this from happening. Again, it's a good question. Kenny Booyah says, Peyton Gendron is what happens when radicalized young white boys see a racist murderer like Kyle Rittenhouse gain hero status by murdering N-word lovers, get celebrated on Fox News, and then get to hang out with Donald Trump and hot babes at Mar-a-Lago, Buffalo. Again, these guys, they're spinning a narrative here that just does not exist, right? They're spinning a narrative that doesn't exist. Kyle Rittenhouse was defending himself. The Kyle Rittenhouse situation was about the Second Amendment and the right to self-defense. That's what it was about. Okay, those people went out there and attacked him because he was there defending property, okay, doing riots, and he defended himself. And if Kyle Rittenhouse would have got found guilty of murder, that would have been the end of the Second Amendment, right? That would have been the end of the right to self-defense in this country. But again, you would know that if, again, you were actually paying attention to what was going on, and you actually cared about truth and facts. But that's not what a lot of these people care about. They want to get retweets and likes. Tristan Snell says, remember when we said that acquitting Kyle Rittenhouse would embolden the next Kyle Rittenhouse to be far worse? Yeah, again, how is this guy Kyle Rittenhouse, right? How is this guy Kyle Rittenhouse? I don't get it. It's not the same situation whatsoever, but they don't care. And a lot of these people, they know it's not the same. They're just going to say it because, look, you can get 90,000 likes, right? You can get 16,000 retweets. So why not, right? Why not? Why not just say whatever? That's the world that we're living in right now. So again, you got people on the right who have responded to this stuff and basically calling out the lunacy that is comparing Kyle Rittenhouse to Peyton Gendron. And they said comparing Kyle Rittenhouse to the Buffalo mass shooter is like comparing Candace Owens to Patrisse Cullors. Facts, right? They're just not the same. They're on the opposite end of the spectrum. And in fact, I mean, hey, you can make the argument that, I don't know, man, since according to the left, Kyle Rittenhouse was a vigilante, maybe Kyle Rittenhouse actually would have stopped the shooter. Maybe he would have shot the shooter if he was there in that situation. Just saying. I'm just saying. Steven Crowder says, just a reminder, Kyle Rittenhouse shot 3 people while defending himself. All were white, not minorities, and was acquitted of any wrongdoing. Yeah, the left doesn't care about that, right? They don't care about facts. They simply just care about the narrative. And then finally, Cure Hip Hop says, N-words still think Kyle Rittenhouse killed black people. Yeah, right? Yeah, that is what a lot of people in this country still think. And it's unfortunate because that is what is driving a lot of these false narratives that are being perpetuated on social media for retweets and likes, okay? I mean, these people, they really have no shame in what they're doing, okay? They're using the tragic death of 10 people, okay, in this tragic incident as a way to advance themselves and advance their own careers, right? They don't care about whether or not what they're saying is true, okay, whether or not the things they're putting out there are responsible, okay, and the things they're saying, because them comparing Kyle Rittenhouse to this mass shooter is more smearing of Kyle Rittenhouse's character, who's been found not guilty in the court of law, okay, he's been found not guilty. But again, because the left doesn't respect the court of law or the rule of law, evidenced by the fact that they're totally okay with intimidating Supreme Court justices. None of that matters to them. None of that matters, okay? Because again, these people simply are opportunists, okay? And they will take any opportunity they can to woke virtue signal their anti-whiteness, because that's what's happening, guys. The easiest way to get popular on social media is to come out here and to say something about white supremacy or to say something bad about white people and blah, 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 blah. That's the easiest way to do it, okay? And once you do that, right, you're going to be propelled to this hero status, especially if you are a white liberal, right? And in my opinion, I think that honestly is what's driving some of the extremism in this country, right? I think that Peyton Gendron may have been more influenced by the leftist rhetoric in regards to white people are a problem in this country, right? That's what they're saying. He may have been more influenced by that than he's been influenced by somebody like Tucker Carlson of Fox News. Because again, to me, it seems to me that this guy was a leftist. He said he was a communist at one point, okay? So again, who is he paying attention to more? Who is he being exposed to more? Right? That's the question that we have to ask ourselves. And if I had to guess, if I was a betting man, I would bet that his exposure to some of the things coming from the left probably is what motivated him and drove him more than anything that he heard from, again, Fox News or Tucker Carlson. That's just my opinion. Because the left wants to sit here and act like they never talk about demographic changes in this country. Okay? They want to throw the label on it, white replacement theory. Okay, and they would say, well, Tucker Carlson talked about that. Well, no, that's actually talked about in the mainstream liberal media as well too. They just don't call it white replacement theory. They just say it's demographic change, right? They talk about that as well too. Okay, but again, the left, they don't want to have a conversation about how irresponsible their rhetoric is and how that is contributing to the radicalization of some people in this country, right? Because again, they're totally fine with that, okay? Look at what happened to BLM riots. Look at what happened with Antifa. Look at what happened with the Supreme Court. They are totally fine with embracing the most extreme elements of their political ideology. And to me, again, that is what is driving a whole lot of this stuff in this country, right? They don't want to rein it in, but again, they will sit up here and talk about January 6th and this, that, and the other, and all this other stuff when, quite honestly, they really don't care, right? All they care about is what they want, right? So with that being said, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.